Yeah, I've never played Dead by Daylight. I have it. Really? I can't... I'm glad that invisible wall is stopping me from getting on the ladder that's just right there. I used to play Friday the 13th a lot. Obviously, you can't do that anymore. That game's obviously gone at this point. And Evil Dead, I used to play. Just thinking about, like, multiplayer horror games. I think it's a decent game, but the community just ruins it. Never had a single casual game on it. That's too bad. Does it have the ability to just like play with friends? Like, can you just create lobbies and play with friends, or is it like no matter what you're just dealing with randos? Friday the 13th was much better. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with Friday the 13th. Spent tons of hours in that game for sure. And then, like, the group that I played with, like, you know, the group of friends that I'd play with, they all went on to go play, like, like Texas Chainsaw. I never played Texas. I know it went on sale. Like, I think it's on sale now. I never played that one. I've heard it's a little harder to play than the other games. I'm trying to think what else is out there. But yeah, Dead by Daylight, I've never played Dead by Daylight at all. Like, even though I have access to it, never played it. Yeah, I think you can do custom matches with friends, but it's just getting enough players for a game. Yeah, well, like I said, like when it came to like Friday the 13th, like we just had a group of like 8 of us that would just play. I like Texas Chainsaw and Evil Dead, but I feel like the player base isn't big enough to be worth downloading now. Because I don't think you can play against bots. Yeah, and again, like I said, like group of friends. The only thing that sucked about like when we went to Evil Dead was that Friday the 13th allowed 8 people to play. I believe it was seven campers and 1 Jason, right? And Evil Dead was only 4 people, I believe, could play, or 5, 4 survivors and 1 deadite, or something like that. So, like, we couldn't all play together at that point, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of limited, like, who all could play at any given time. And I know that some of them tried to go to Dead by Daylight together. Like, I didn't try that migration with them. Like, it was kind of like they just did it as, like, one-off try, and, like, a lot of them didn't enjoy it. They're like, no, Friday the 13th is better, because this was back when Friday the 13th was still active, when they still had active servers. So... Oh, there's a item around me. Somewhere. There's a killer. Oh yeah, they did move on to that one too. I haven't tried that either, which I wanted to play, but by the time I found out about it, I feel like the game would be kind of dead, and I don't think you can play against bots in it either. Yeah, that's right. They did. Like my group of friends did move on to that one as well. I never picked that game up either. I think the key with those games is you just have to find a group of people. You know what I mean? That way you got a base of players. You don't have to worry about like randos ruining it or anything. And so it's just you just hanging out with friends and talking while you play the game. Like when we played Friday the 13th, like we never gave away. Like we played, like even though we were like all friends and we were all in the same chat and stuff, like it was never like Jason with throwing the game or anything like that. Like we still played it seriously, and we played Among Us for a while too. And the same thing. It's like you just, as long as you don't play it in a way that you're like defeating the purpose of the game. Yeah, but that's all the more. So, like, I feel like they're real. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, all the more reason you need to find just a group of friends to play it with. You know what I mean? And then that way it doesn't matter if the game's alive or dead because you're just playing in your lobby of friends anyway. So you're not dependent upon like the popularity of the game. It doesn't matter if there's 500 active players or 5,000. It's like if you're just playing with your 5 friends or 8 friends or whatever, it doesn't matter because you're not interacting with them anyway. Bam! Really? Is the wall right? Jesus. Over here. Oh, I'm on a time. I didn't even realize I was on a timer. Okay, well, we still gotta find the last one. Where's the last? That's dumb that I'm on a timer. But like I said, a lot of those games are, cheap or free now. Like I said, I think Texas Chainsaw is $19. Maybe it was Killer Clowns. One of the two are super cheap now. I can't believe I'm on a fucking timer. I'm on a timer to find shit. That's dumb. That is dumb. Like, are you seeing it anywhere? It's orange. It's like a bright orange item. I'm not taking my sweet time, KK. I'm trying to find the stupid thing. Maybe you should tell me where it is, KK. No, but seriously, where is it? I can't leave this way. Alright, I'm gonna be annoyed if I die. You did not do it fast enough. Hurry, you gotta find it. You gotta tell me where it is, KK. You're taking your sweet ass time. Well, spirit guide, tell me where it is and I'll go take care of it. Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna... Tell me where it is, you asshole! Jesus! Over here? I'm not seeing it, KK. Oh, there it is. Are you serious? Really, game? Lock on. I did it with like no time left. I like that in Friday the 13th you could play as Jason against bots offline, but I don't know why other games never. Do you mean like? Are you talking about like the solo missions that they did? Like where it's like, go kill this counselor. Or are you saying like you could actually play with, like do the actual match with just bots? Because I don't remember that. I remember they introduced later, like a year after, they introduced like the solo missions you could do. But that wasn't at launch. That wasn't until like much later that they introduced that. Game. You can make custom matches, but you can add bots and change. Really? I don't remember that. I didn't remember that at all, but you could do it all offline. Well, unfortunately, you can't do that now because it's completely shut down. But yeah, I don't remember that being that must have been something that they added later. Roku Rokubi. Shiva Inu. Rainwalker 5. I could do this all day. Kushisake. I imagine at some point they're gonna give me duplicates, right? I think if you have the game, you can do the offline mode against bots, but you can't play online or buy the game anymore. I'll have to look. I still have it. Meow. Meow. Mario got the name. I know Evil Dead. Evil Dead was hard. Like the online game was hard, and then even the solo game of Evil Dead was hard. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So we got this one. The Garakai. Hello. Hi, Argle. Evil Dead was pretty good, but yeah, it was super hard. Argle, how you doing? How's your day? How's your night? And more importantly, did you do what I told you to do? Did you do what I told you you had to do? Yes, I beat Luxoxia. Well, that's not what I told you to do, but GG. Are you on the next boss, or did you quit playing after that? Craft, have you played Liza P? Dog! Can you, like, not run off? Alright, where'd that dog go? Why did you bring me over here? Good dog. I'm now on the big boss at the top of the tower. We'll continue tomorrow. No, I've seen some videos on it though. I don't remember. Are you the one who said you didn't like the Soulsborne games yesterday? I know there's a bunch of people who came in on Jade's raid, and I can't remember who said they weren't into the Souls games. Look at this dog. He's a good boy. Yeah, I don't really like Elden Ring mostly. Have you played any of the other Souls games, or is Elden Ring like your first experience? Oh yeah, it's because we're talking about Liza P. I told Geppetto he's a terrible dad. I hope I didn't lose out on anything because of that. Oh, when you freed him from the jail? And he's like, am I a good dad? And you're like, no, you kind of suck. The big question is, Argle, is that what you believe? Because if that's what you believe, then that's the right answer. If that's not what you believe, then that's the wrong answer. I played Dark Souls 1 and Sekiro as well. Sekiro was my favorite by far, though. That was a good game. If you like, so this is what I'll say. If you liked Sekiro, because Sekiro was really dependent upon the parry system, on like perfect blocking, Liza P basically mimics the perfect blocking. So it's like Dark Souls meets Sekiro is the best way to explain like the Liza P experience. So you might like Liza P, or you might not, but it's definitely not like Elden Ring. And it's definitely very, very hard. And Sekiro was great. You know, I don't know why. Like, Sekiro totally lined, like, throughout the entire game, like, they kept talking about Tomoe. And I thought for sure that they were going to do a Sekiro DLC about Tomoe, which is the chick who taught what's-his-face about lightning attacks. And they just never did. Liza P is DS plus Sekiro, but for babies. But for babies? Hey Gwen, how you doing? You think Sekiro was easy? Sekiro was hard as shit. But boo at your opinion. I think the setting of Sekiro was way more interesting than Elden Ring or Souls games. It just vibed with me a lot more. I get it. Yeah, I really liked Sekiro. That was a fun game. I really wanted the DLC. So I'm hoping we get a sequel. No. Liza P was pretty easy. You know who you sound like? Gwen, we have a viewer that's in here from time to time named Cobalt, who's never played the Souls games before. And he came in here and he's just like, oh, I'm just trying Dark Souls 3 for the first time. And it's his very first Soulsborne game. And he destroyed it. He did Nameless King in I think 8 attempts. That was like the hardest boss. He's like, oh, I did that in 8 attempts. And he did it on mouse and keyboard. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, are you sure this is your first Soulsborne experience? He's like, yeah, I've never played the Souls games before. It's like, Jesus, man. You sound like him. No, Liza P was easy. Did you platinum Liza P? Bam. I mean, how much do we really trust Cobalt? That's a good point. But at the same time, does Cobalt have any... is there any reason for him to lie about that? DLC was pretty easy, too, until the last boss. I didn't do the DLC. The DLC was hard. Especially Midir, who I've never beaten. The atmosphere in Dark Souls and Elden Ring just seemed like a lot of stuff I feel like I've already seen before. No way, I've been getting trophies since PS3. I have 3 plats. I have no desire to get plats. Dude, you got plat on Final Fantasy 16. I have no desire to get plats. You played through Final Fantasy 16 twice to get a plat. You can't lie to me. FF16 is so easy. FF16 was a giant 20-hour long movie with 3 hours of gameplay. Are you really wondering if there's any reason for people to lie and brag on the internet about fake it? People don't lie on the internet. Everything that happens on the internet is real. Are you saying... Wait. Are you saying that the internet can't be trusted? And crafting... In their defense, Dark Souls was kind of the... You know, besides Demon Souls, Dark Souls was kind of the first. Maybe he's just lying to make you feel bad about your gaming skills. Yeah, but like, why would he lie about that? Like, why would he... Like, because I've even been like, oh no, you did it in 3 attempts. And he's been like, no, it was 8. Like, he's quick to correct me when I give him more credit than he deserves. Like, just play the game. Easy plat. I think the hardest thing was getting the combo thing in the air or something. No, the hardest thing was sitting through that game for 20 hours. DS1 is pretty easy too. Yeah, DS1 is fairly easy for sure. I think the hardest fight in that game was Ornstein and Smo. But again, it was also the first Soulsborne game, right? Like, they just got to learn their lessons from like what did and didn't work when they make the sequels. DS2, I mean, I didn't plat DS2 because I have no desire to. Again, I went from Bloodborne being my first Soulsborne to playing DS2 as my next Soulsborne, and I was like, really? This is like, people love Dark Souls? This game is not anywhere close to as good as Bloodborne. Come to find out, you know, when you play like Dark Souls 1 and then Dark Souls 3 came out later. But then you're like, oh, Dark Souls 1 is such a better game than Dark Souls 2. Cuphead is by far the best difficult game for me. The old cartoon vibe was so good. I loved Cuphead. We did the Delicious Last Course on stream. So I platinum. Well, I have it on the Nintendo Switch. So there's no platinum, obviously, but they have the in-game achievements. And I 100%ed the base game, and then Delicious Last Course came out, and I still have like 2 challenges I have to complete on that. So maybe we'll revisit that game again one day too. I've heard DS2 is annoying, especially the Scholarship of the Sin or whatever it was called. I got stuck on the second area and rage quit. Well, Dark Souls... Yeah, so again, Dark Souls 2 was my second game. Wasn't it just down here? But again, coming off of Bloodborne to Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 2 is super clunky. Like Gwen said, DS2 has hitbox SUs plus clunky on top of it. Super clunky. Have you seen him? And then, like, so I came off of... Okay, so this is, like, another problem. Like, this is... Admittedly, this is an Eric problem. So, you know, Bloodborne had the blood vial mechanic. So Bloodborne had the blood vial mechanic for